Yes, yeah. Things like that. Yeah, they're on.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, that was a great movie. Good morning. Welcome to 1 million cups. Bob, everybody grab a cup of coffee, grab a donut or cookies or some sort of snack or treat. Started this morning. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Come on. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our YouTube live stream audience. People from all over the world are tuning in today to find out what's going on here at 1 million cups. How was everyone this morning? Thank you so much for coming out. We're going to get started. I know you guys are having a great time networking, so we love the energy in the room. That's a wonderful thing. But I need your attention right now because we have two people that are coming up who got out of their beds early in the morning to come here and to talk about their business challenges, to pitch their business or coffee sponsor because he needs your help. So thank you so much. Of course, we've got lots of QR codes, so scan some of these QR codes. Follow us on social media, tag us. If you want to present, and there's our screen, YouTube live stream. If you can't be here on a Wednesday morning, but you still want to connect, we are on YouTube live as DetroitMetro 1 million cups. Who's 1 million cups? What do we do? Why are we here? We are here because we love entrepreneurs and we want to support entrepreneurship in our community. Entrepreneurship is really one of the only ways to build generational wealth, build wealth for you and your family. So we want to make sure that if you have that dream, we help you to keep that dream alive, but we help to add structure and framework to that dream by giving you access to capital, giving you access to resources, coaching, and connecting you to a community who's invested in your business just as much as you are, because they're entrepreneurs as well and they want to see you succeed. So that's why we're here every Wednesday for you. We do this across the country, 110 communities, 24,000 people every week gather to exchange ideas and to help other business owners. So who's in the room? If you are a first-time visitor, please raise your hand. Give these guys a hand. And first-time visitors, before you leave, we have a gift for you. So don't leave it up in your gift. That means you got to stay to the end. And we could not do this every week without our volunteer organizers. If you are a volunteer organizer for 1 million cups, the people who show up and they do this with great pegs, you know, because they love the mission as well. So if you're an organizer, please stand up and please raise your hand. Give these guys a hand because they do this because they love the community and because they love small business. And if you're a past presenter, you've presented here before, please raise your hand. All right, there's some chat presented now. Yeah. If you have a small business and you are going through some challenging times, maybe you're stuck, maybe you need some marketing ideas or maybe some sales ideas or anything you need to help your business move forward, talk to these folks, come and present, get some ideas. They will tell you how they've been helped by coming to be a presenter at 1 million cups. All right, we want to thank our community partners as well. Josh from Incubizo, thank you so much for putting up with us every Wednesday morning. Josh, if you are looking for space to work, or you have an event, or you just need to get the family together for a big meal, or you want to do a World Cup watch party, thank you, Tatiana. This is the place to do it. So this place is for rent. Talk to Josh, talk to myself. Be more than happy to give you some details, but there are conference rooms and offices for rent. So we would love to have you here. The Madison Heights Chamber, a huge partner of ours. Hey, Phyllis and Brenda, and all those that are part of the Madison Heights Chamber. As well as Oakland Thrive. Oakland Thrive is Oakland County based, and they help small businesses lots of services, lots of support. Please check out Open Thrive, openthrive.org. And David from PMP Photography, he's floating about the room. There he is in the back of the room. He is a volunteer photographer. Make sure that we have pictures and photos. Yes, he's one of my favorite people out there. So today we have TJ Winfrey. We were supposed to have Bright Path AI Solutions, but she's moved to a different week. She's out of town. And our coffee sponsor is Justin McKnight from Steady Growth. He is the one who provided the coffee and the great treats and snacks. And thank you so much, Justin. Next week, Confident and Creative Girls Club. She's a returning presenter. She came and presented last year. So she's going to come with some updates. As I mentioned, when people come to 1 Million Cups, they get true help. They get solutions to help them with business problems. So we're going to hear from her, find out how her first presentation at 1 Million Cups went, what other challenges she has. We're looking forward to that. And then we have Midnight Mixers also. And then our coffee sponsor for next week is 1111 Studios. They have some great facilities. So looking forward to that next week as well. Again, our coffee sponsor is Dustin. Come up and tell us a little bit about your business and why. But before we do that, if you want to be a coffee sponsor, raise your hand or talk to Christina. She is the one who's going to be taking care of the coffee sponsors. Bring coffee for, as you can see, maybe 50 people in the room. Bring steak and lobster. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it's a different meeting. Bring donuts or treats if you'd like, because we want a happy group, feel good coffee and sugar. So tell us a little bit about your business.
Good morning, everybody.
There we go.
So my name is Justin McKnight. Appreciate the opportunity to be able to do this here today. I had presented here a year ago. So just encouragement for anybody who's thinking about presenting. It's a really good experience, particularly because it makes you get your act together a little bit to have to stand up in front of a bunch of people and explain your business. But also the brain trust in the room. You get a lot of variety of feedback that you wouldn't get anywhere else. So it's a rare opportunity, a precious opportunity. So if you've not done it, I highly encourage it. I also go to the 1 Million Cups in Ann Arbor quite a bit. And that's how I had found out about 1 Million Cups. It happens at the same time every week as this one. So if you're on that side of town ever, it's definitely worth checking out. My business, and I'm just gonna put this QR code here so you can check me out. I came up here when I presented last year speaking about coaching and consulting because I've been in the automotive industry for 25 years. And then I decided to exit on my own terms and start my own business. I had done a lot of engineering and sales and leadership roles. I spent time at Toyota. So now I apply that to other businesses around strategic sales and leadership development. I also do workshops around those topics and do some guest speaking opportunities, some keynote opportunities. But what I'm really been working on lately has been my book, The Ripple Effect, How the Next Financial System is Being Built in Plain Sight. I spent a lot of time studying the crypto space and not just the hypothetical of it or the hype of what's going on in crypto. And a lot of us are afraid of that. And what does it mean? And you see money going up, money going down, but more focusing on how the monetary system is changing over a long time period. So I go back to the early Roman times and their money all the way up to our money and gold and silver and how all these things are changing and how the role of crypto and certain crypto companies in the next financial system. So if you're interested in that topic, my book is available on Amazon. Holding too many things up here. If I can go back.
Other way.
Nope, wrong, other way.
There you go.
So the book is available on Amazon. You could connect with me on LinkedIn in general. The only two social medias I use are LinkedIn and TikTok, which are ironic two differences. But I post on TikTok very regularly, talking pretty much about these topics. So if you're on there, check me out there or just my email address. This is just Linktree. I do work, like I'm working with U of M right now. I'm doing some workshops around leadership development and around sales for their students. And I'm not a one-trick pony. I don't know if you can check that out, but I also make a men's cologne, an all natural cologne, the world's first mezcal based cologne.
Oh,
What does that mean? So thank you. So most colognes are used with different types of alcohol in them. I use all natural essential oils, 9 different ones. I have 3 different scents I developed, and they use mezcal as the base. So they have this little bit of a smoky scent to them. So there's also in this link tree a link to that. And I make music, so there's also a link to that in the link tree. So again, it's funny because especially when I was here and at other places, people are like, "Man, you need to niche down. You need to pick something." But what I've found with myself is I'm interested in a variety of things, and I have a variety of info and value to put out into the world. So I'm doing a little bit of all the things I like to do. So if I can connect with you in any way and be helpful to you, please reach out. And again, thank you to all for the opportunity to provide some coffee and snacks. Thank you.
since you presented at 1 million bucks,
Yes.
it's been an experience. What did you take away that really helped in your business?
I would say I think one of the main things was a lot of comments were around the marketing and around just really brand voice and kind of honing in on your offering. So again, now I have a variety of other offerings, but still the mindset of honing in on my offering and how I presented that. And there was a few unique pitches or not pitches, but comments I got back to around, have you thought about it from this angle? Have you thought about it from that angle? So it's just really the food for thought too you can get from presenting that I think it could be one element of it that you're like, even if it moved you an inch, you're so better for having prepared, come up here, speak to everybody, look everybody in the eye, take some of that feedback, and it's always constructive, it's always positive. So I just the value of preparing alone, I think was the biggest for me.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank
See
you.
value. So that was a pitch. Only person that gets the pitch is the person that buys the coffee. Everyone else, you're here to get some help. And that's what we do. So if you come to present, we don't want you to pitch. We coach you to make sure you don't pitch. Because we want you to get assistance. That's the whole idea. We want the room to help. We want the room to know what you do. So this is how this is going to go for our presenter who's coming up. We know he's not going to pitch because he doesn't have a product to sell. So that's a wonderful thing. But we want to give him some constructive, upbuilding criticism. We're not going to beat him up, right? You don't want to get beat up today? Sure. Okay. All right. We won't beat him up. Keep your comments to about a minute or so. We have a lot of people in the room. We know we've got a lot of people that are anxious to go, hey, this is what I would recommend. So we want to be nice, we want to be concise, but we want to give some good feedback. So who's our presenter today? His name is TJ Winfrey. And your company is, tell us.
Civic.
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 All right. You do?
Thank you. All right. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I'll start with the question for you all. So, sorry, when you think about your community, when you think about your neighborhood, what shapes you, kind of who you are in the context of elections, what issues matter to you? Can a couple people throw some issues out that matter to you?
Yeah.
Gas prices, okay.
Housing.
Housing. One more. Beautification. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Well, I'm TJ Winfrey. I'm the co-founder of Civic. And what Civic is, we're an issue-based, nonpartisan, nonprofit technology platform that connects people, connects voters to the issues that matter to them most. So tell you a little bit more about our journey and what we do. So first, why Civic? So I'm a longtime absentee voter myself from Detroit, Michigan, but I've lived kind of all over and voted absentee during those 10 to 12 years, most interested in local elections, but really had difficulty finding just one source as an absentee voter for information about local elections. And if you look at the macro election trends, you'll see since 1988, the year that I was born, midterm election turnout has increasingly fallen behind presidential turnout, right? And election offices focus on high propensity voters. And then if you think about the last presidential election, and the research that myself or my co-founder did, we found that people really felt disconnected to that presidential election at the local level, federal level, state level, just based on the election seemingly not being relevant to them. Put your mic up. Sorry. And so we built this platform called Civic, which I'll tell you a little bit more about, but I also want to tell you about an archetype of a person who, we built this for. And so we talked about election offices focusing on high propensity voters. We're actually focusing on and reach and hope to reach the hard to reach voters. And so this platform is for everyone, but we really want to focus on people who have disengaged from the election process. And so the archetype of a person is it could be you, right? It's someone who is civically engaged, but is disconnected from elections based on uncertainty about elections, whether it's the issues, whether it's who's on the ballot, or just saying, hey, this is just not for me. So what is Civic? So first, I just wanted to show you the interface. So it's a web-based platform. It's not an app, and I'll walk you through a little bit about kind of what we do and the journey that you go on once you're on the web platform. So the first thing you do is you pick the issues that matter to you. It can be one issue. It can be up to 5 issues. You enter your zip code, and then we show you the elected officials who are speaking to the issues that you care about, right? So, for example, we talked about gas prices. So if you type in or select gas prices or oil prices or however we term it, we'll then show you the leaders, the elected officials who are talking about that issue, and we do that based on mostly firsthand information or legislation. So if they have discussed this issue in any sort of public setting, or they've set forth legislation, whether it's supportive or opposing gas prices, we'll show you that on the platform. Um, All right, so let's talk about our challenge. So our biggest challenge, which I think is a challenge of a lot of people starting up a new company, is funding, right? And so our business model is B2G. So right, so we sell to governments. So we sell to local election offices who are trying to reach, again, those hard to reach voters, but who generally want to increase voter turnout. So currently, we're partnered with the Detroit Department of Elections to pilot this platform during this upcoming election cycle. And what we'll do is we'll be in a couple of precincts. We'll roll the platform out. We'll allow people to use it, and we'll get feedback and make tweaks on everything that we're doing. So from that standpoint, there is some funding there. There is a partnership there with the Detroit Department of Elections. On the other side of our business model are foundations, and so we do have a current commitment from All Voting is Local, which is a national organization, excuse me, that's dedicated to free and fair elections. But we need more to build this out and to scale. And so I'll talk a little bit about what we tried. In segmenting what we tried by the business model, so election offices and foundations. So at an incremental level, just thinking about day to day, we leverage that relationship with DOE for introductions and connections to other election offices. And then on the foundation side, we've applied to hundreds of grants. And so we've identified hundreds of grants. We applied to about 50. You see kind of the hit rate almost, and kind of the numbers there. And then at scale, right? Some of the things we've done at scale. So we did attend the Mackinac Policy Conference a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago at this point. Very helpful, connected with a lot of folks, made a lot of introductions and connections, and also connected with leaders, foundation leaders that we've already applied for. And then importantly, in July, we'll be attending the Partnership for Large Election Jurisdictions Conference. This program is called Pledge. And so what Pledge is What it does is Pledge has about 300 of the largest election jurisdictions around the country that represent about 80% of American voters. And so we're going to go there. We're going to evangelize what we're doing, and hopefully, continue to make some connections for our work. And then lessons learned. So what's worked for us? So leveraging our network, leveraging our current network, um, and then really connecting with election officers who are willing to try new things, especially again with hard to reach voters. On the foundation side, there's really no shortage of opportunities or people and foundations to connect with. But I've seen, and I'm new to this kind of philanthropic space, but there's a lot of people competing for these grant dollars, and so it's very competitive. Um, what we've been told is, innovation in this space is needed. So we're kind of aligned there, and we're also aligned with the macro trends. And then opportunities for us. So on the local election side, connecting across different ideological spectrum, right? So, um, talked to one gentleman this morning, and we're not partisan. We see ourselves as kind of down the center, but inevitably people have their kind of ideologies, and we need to understand how we fit in that context. And then when you're working with government, of course, there's long lead time for action, right? And then on the foundation side, so getting beyond just alignment with a foundation's priorities, but really understanding that value exchange. So kind of what we bring to the table, and then what they can kind of do for us almost. Let's just say relying, but relaying our differentiation. How do we communicate? How we're different in the market, and then again, I mentioned that we're kind of new to the industry. So here are my thought starter questions for feedback. Um, and I don't know if I should read these off or not. But so that's it. That's all I wanted to present today. But as you think about feedback, would love to shape it kind of around these three questions and thoughts, and happy to get something outside of this. But just thinking about who you are as a person, as a voter, and what would turn you off about a platform like Civic. How do we stay nonpartisan? And then how do we better convey our current value exchanges? So that's it. Thank you for listening.
Well, you can hang on to that. All right, so thank you so much. That was interesting, very, very interesting. One of the things you mentioned was differentiation. So that's one of the questions for the audience, right? Is how can you differentiate yourself from everything else out there? We know there's a ton of news. It's all slanted to the left or right. There's nothing really kind of down the slide. I totally get what you're trying to do. But from our audience, line up. And if you have some thoughts, I knew Sabrina was going to come up. Let's give some advice.
Hi, I'm Sabrina. I have a consulting company where I work with nonprofits on policy and advocacy. So would love to talk later. But one of the things that I think is really important for folks who are starting nonprofits and looking at foundations is that currently only about 10% of dollars going out from philanthropy are to folks that they don't have a relationship with. So I see like you did a lot of applications, which is great. So I mean, audit the applications, see if you can get feedback on some of those. But that's not who's getting the dollars right now. Like who's getting the dollars are the people who have the relationships developed. And so I'm not sure, obviously I'm sure you've done like a ton of that work, but just thinking through who within the state and locally in Detroit, start with the Detroit folks or start with like the Metro Detroit area folks in philanthropy, start building those relationships, even if they're not funding that thing, then they can hear you and work to really fund that. And from there, you can expand kind of your reach. But really starting with those local relationships and digging deep and, like showing up time and time again at those little things where those funders are going to be is super important for any type of like foundation dollars going to folks right now because no one's actually like giving out money to people who are applying. So just kind of want to put that out there, but let's talk to you. There's
Right.
for the others.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
My name's Jim, the director of the Madison Heights State Bar Chamber of Commerce. I loved your presentation. I'm one of the people you described. I could have been up there with Gerald in the beginning. And so very involved in my community, often struggle to really feel confident in voting for all the reasons that you said. And I think as I look at the top, the orange one there, you know, I think in terms of staying nonpartisan, a key thing for me would be to see that you're having people on your team that are coming from a variety of perspectives, because there's like a bias towards the issues you're even thinking about putting on the platform. If people from diverse perspectives aren't there, this is a thought. People maybe that even like self-identify as being partisan, but you're working cooperatively together to identify the broad range of issues that different people think about. That's hard work. That takes a lot of self-work to do that, but I wonder about that. And I think that you've already said it. What would turn people off or what would turn them on is we live in a very suspicious age. And so helping people understand the concern that is going to come from a certain perspective and helping them know that these are fact checked, there's research behind the answers they give it, all that kind of stuff. I think that forward helps people realize it's documented things that we're talking about. I also wonder off point from what you said, but I really liked the point about how lots of underserved districts don't have anyone like visiting their area to talk. I wonder what it would look like to help your resource to have that happen. So I wonder what it would look like for you to say, hey, we're connecting with campaigning officials and helping them be in a space where people might otherwise not have the opportunity to interact with an elected someone campaigning to do so. I think that would be a huge thing. Okay. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. You're welcome.
And there, Berna Ginyard. I think your presentation was amazing and what you're offering is great. Something I never would have even thought of. Think about those who are not committed to the election piece of it. I know people personally that will wait until the couple days before election and then try to do a quick study before they make their vote. Maybe becoming more present in their space. And so I don't know if you can partner with those offices, those election offices in the different cities and have a QR code or something that can be available to the voters so that they can see, they can go to this place and then they would get the information that would help them better make their decisions.
Thank you. This is all being recorded.
Absolutely.
Um, okay, so a couple thoughts. One thing that I love about your platform is that it is, you have a lot of different people connecting in one place. So you have the candidates, potentially the voters, and then these, city governments that might be available. So this is like a really amazing opportunity for like a forum for these people to connect. I think something that's complicated about it is that there's a different value proposition for each of those groups. So I really love her point that a lot of people, I think right now, are being checked out of the idea of like even going to the ballots. And so figuring out what's the why, like why is someone going to engage with your platform? And I think my gut is like what intrigues me as a voter is that this is an opportunity for me to have a dialogue with my city government, with someone that could be a potential elected leader. And that is really exciting to me. And then also, what is the value proposition, kind of to her point about like, who is going to be buying this? So your customer might be, like the city of Detroit. What is the value proposition for them? And it benefits them when people are engaged. It's more complicated for them. But helping them through that process is probably important. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How's it going? My name is Willie Carter. I do connect with organizations and nonprofit organizations.
Let's come a little closer to
in
the
the city.
camera right here. Thanks.
the thing that caught me is asking the question, how does Civic stay nonpartisan and trustworthy? Just by building that relationship, being transparent, you already built the system for them to go on, uh, talk about their issues and things like that. So having that platform for them to come, I would say one thing to do is to connect with your state representative. They have resources on the city, local, and federal basis that can help you explore those opportunities for funding and things like that. So making sure that you build that relationship. Community impact is number one. We know that we can go on the website, but they want to see who you are. So I would say just making sure you connect with those local officials. If they have an event, just make sure you get your name out there. It's not you promoting, it's you connecting. So just build from that aspect of things.
Amazing. Okay, thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm strong. AI. I had a handful of things that I'm listening for. So I'm in the media space. And to address your questions in an orderly fashion, first of all, you're addressing a section that has been eliminated in the media, which is local journalism. Okay, so you're replacing that. But what makes you an authority? So if I'm looking at this space and your platform and what you're bringing as far as content, you're going to need endorsements. You're going to need to position yourself as an authority on that, not because I want you to, but because people looking for information on the internet, AI summaries are going to start pulling to validate who you are. And the reason why this is important to you is because AI optimized searching is going to pull from sources that can be validated. Okay. My next thing is, because you're a media outlet, you're probably going to have to find a way to provide advertising to self-fund.
Mhm.
And when you do that, you are going to bring out a lot of different types of people, which is going to speak to the content. Okay, content is king.
Mhm.
Who is going to mediate the content? You'll have to describe that. Okay. And how do you avoid conspiracy theorists and all the things that people are afraid of to get into politics?
Mhm.
My last piece on this is the demographic. I did not hear who your demographic was. I just heard the category of the voter, which was absentee voter. So you have a three-pronged approach to getting funding and to drive this. You have a lot of promoting to do. This is going to become a media outlet at a local level. My final piece of advice to you is do some research about how to connect yourself to the wire. The wire is where all the journalism experts go to find local and trending information.
Okay.
And so your platform could actually be pulling very grassroots content about the people who are running for office. So it has potential. Okay.
All right,
Good luck to you.
thank you. Appreciate it.
And this is Stacia from Skill Marketing again. So just kind of going off of what she was saying about content marketing. I didn't hear, are you capturing the information of people coming to your site at all? I don't know if you're doing that, but to her point, if you want to become that trustworthy, it's like, how can you just do voter education all year long? I think people are, I'm gonna say, embarrassed that they don't know as much about politics as they should. Like you say, we're all focused on our issues. But it's like, what can you do all year long to content marketing? Have articles that people can download. If you want this, send this to your email because that gives you data too, right? People are engaging the most with this article, so they must be interested in this issue. And then do a 30-second, or post about that same topic for the non-readers, things like that. But it kind of gives you that data on what content is resonating with people. And so to be that trustworthy person and not buy into the conspiracy theory, like he was saying, if I know you're always talking about that information, I will come to your site and say, well, what do they say about, this issue? Like when I hear Stacey Abrams talk about anything, I'm like, oh, let me hear her opinion because it's going to be valuable. So it's kind of like positioning yourself like that. And it can be anything all year long. Here's why you need to care about local judges because they handle X, Y, and Z, right? Here's why you need to care about your Congress because little things like that. My last thing is, I think I read Brand's story. They said when you're explaining your concept, picture somebody running on a treadmill trying to listen to you.
Mhm.
So the little snippets of information, here's what makes you a better voter in general. When you get to our app, now you have that information. Now you can pick your issues a little bit more intelligently. So I think it's done.
Thank you.
Can I go after this guy? Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. I'm Nick Henry. I'm an architect, but my two comments had nothing to do with that.
Make that a little closer.
Oh,
Give a camera.
And I come from a background in nonprofit work, and I want to echo something that said earlier in terms of reaching out to foundations and building up relationships. And I applied to a lot of grants, but I think a lot of people underestimate a lot of those community foundations. Community Foundation or other foundations have program developer and network that you can go in and talk to, and you can build that relationship before you're applying, so they're familiar with you. So I'd say that's something that you should definitely look at leveraging. And then in terms of differentiation, another thing that I see a lot is in the public sector, there are a lot of organizations, my wife's librarian, so she does voter guides, things like that. There's some nonprofits that are focused specifically around the voter information, but you're providing a unique service in that it's a media application adjacent to that. So I would look at partnering with those organizations that are already nonprofit. They're not exactly in your market, but they're an adjacent sector, and I know they're looking for that. So it's something I see a lot of.
Okay. Thank you. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? Good. All right, quick question. Are both of you and your founder, are you both Black? Yeah. Okay, so that might, for the nonpartisan piece, I'm sure that's probably like, from my opinion, or maybe are you dealing with anything with that? Like people thinking that you lean one way over the other, or how do you differentiate yourself in that way? Are you open to leaning in one way, or? No, we're staying down the middle. Okay. All right. So the one thing I wanted to talk about was the value exchange. So there's three different levels of value that you're providing. You're providing the voter education piece. When you talked about your product, it would have been really dope if you painted the new world of what that looks like for someone to be educated differently than current ways. So right now, when I think of political education, I think of like TikTok, Instagram Reels, news outlets, but you created a product that makes it a little bit different. Right. It would have been dope to hear like, okay, this is what the new world looks like with my product, and this is how it's going to work for you. The second value exchange piece is the voter turnout. So how do you prove that people showed up because of the efforts that you put in? So that would have been dope to hear more about. I think once you tie those two together, your pitch would be a lot stronger there. And then the third piece is the aggregation of data. So you're not building a news channel per se. You're literally providing a new way of all these different points of yeah, thank you. All these different points of from the candidates, right? Like because they have these full campaigns, they're consistently putting out new information, and you're literally aggregating that, putting it in a clean way that people can I guess like digest better than they could before, and make it a little bit more exciting. It would have been dope too to like feel you were excited about it. I already know politics is a boring concept, but like if you're about to reinvent it and make somebody like me who could not stand reading a page full of new grants, new deeds, new things going on in Detroit, it'd be dope to get that energy from you as well, which I'm sure you got. I know that there's a lot of people here, but best of luck to you and your co-founder.
Okay. So what you think?
It was great.
That's
It
a
was
lot.
great. Yeah. I appreciate all the feedback. Can't wait to digest it.
Okay.
Via video. But it's really helpful for me because one person talked about audience, and yes, it is the hard to reach voter, but it's really everyone, right? Like if you're a voter, this is something you can use. And so I need to hear from as many different people, as many different folks with different backgrounds as possible. And so this is super helpful for me.
So Nate mentioned his wife was a librarian.
Yes.
Of course, the light went on in my head. Is libraries are great places to get in front of different groups of people. Talk to the community managers in all the libraries and say, hey, I want to come out. I want to talk about education. I want to talk about ways that we can connect voters to the candidates, make sure that they are voting for the candidate to support their issues, help them to get clarification on the issues. I think the library is a great place to start to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
So everything you've heard today, this morning? I know it's a lot. If there's one little thing that you just light bulb went off in your head, what would that one thing be that you could take away and implement immediately?
Immediately would be the feedback around um, you know, building those contacts and networks with foundations
Absolutely.
before application, which I've done a lot of, but it's a lot of work to do. So just yeah, continuing to do that for sure.
Another thing I would suggest is get volunteers to kind of help with some of the grassroots efforts, things that you're doing. It's gonna take a lot of people to reach a lot of people. So
Absolutely.
maybe set up something where you are looking for volunteers and for help. And not just around election time, but all throughout the year.
Correct.
I imagine there are a lot of people that are passionate about the same thing that you're passionate about, like education from my bipartisan.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All my information is at the QR code, and then the website is just really a landing page right now, but that's where the platform will be long term.
I think there's some people in this room that can help you with that website thing too. So, perfect. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone. This was amazing. And as I mentioned, I'm gonna go back. If you're ready to present, there's a QR code. Look at the QR code, fill out a short form, takes 5 minutes. We will assign a coach. We will help you with your presentation. We will help you with your slide deck. We will make sure that you shine and that you come and get some good information. Next week, Confident and Creative Girls Club is a returning presenter. And then Maddie D from Midnight Mixer. She said she's pending, but I think she has committed. So we're looking forward to them coming next week, as well as our coffee sponsor, Teresa Walker. Is she in the room today, Nick? I don't think so. No? No? Okay, that's good. We thank everyone for coming out. You get a few minutes of your day back. Is there anything we need to cover? Okay, awesome. So again, we want to thank our sponsors, David in the back of the room, wherever he is, our photographer. If you have photography needs, talk to him, the Madison Heights Chamber, Open Drive, and Incubizo. If you want to know about events and workshops, use the QR code for Open Drive. They do a lot of great workshops. In fact, one of our partners is here, Fifth Third. Check out their truck in the yard there. Hey, Fifth Third, how are you? Welcome back. How you doing? Mortgages, yeah. CJ. CJ. It's good to have you back. I'm glad you're recovering. Oh, there you go. All right. Welcome. Any events going on in the community? We have a couple minutes left. So if you have an event that's business focused or that is community focused, we'd love to hear about it. Yes. Ferndale Mayor's Business Council on the 30th. Yeah.
It's early morning and it's at.
And there's free food too. So I love this Mayor's Council breakfast. Well, thank you. What more? Yes.
At Iron Body Studios, I'm hosting a free interactive spine home workshop where everybody gets through it, as you take the spine. If you stand in immediate tools that are sent home with, you will address those.
And where's Iron Body Studios? Madison Heights. What's the address? Iron Body Studios. Google that. Free spine. That's kind of cool. So if you got back problems, you know where to go. Yes, sir.
Today I'm signing up small business owners for my product. Manage your Google, your Instagram, Facebook, post deals real time, for the spinal thing. If you're a small business owner, come talk to me after. I would love to give you my product for free for the summer. So
Let's go. Mastermind Chamber has a bowling fundraiser. If you are a bowler, if you're competitive. It's giving away prizes, giving away money, anything like that. I'm just kidding. It's a fundraiser for the chamber, but if you love bowling, this is a great event. I wish I could be there, but I got to coach baseball tomorrow, June 5th. Where is it gonna be? What bowling alley?
Universal Lanes.
Universal, 12 in the Quender. Awesome, awesome. And check out the TVs for any upcoming events and workshops. Thank you so much. This is a co-working space. If you want to work here for the day, you are more than welcome for free. If you need the password to the Wi-Fi, it's $5. I'm just kidding. It's free. We can give you that, but every Wednesday you have the opportunity to work here for free. So around 10:30, want to quiet it down so other folks can get some work done, but you're more than welcome to stay here and work all day long. And next, we do a picture for our social media. Thank you very much to our YouTube live audience streaming. We post this every week, so if you want to go back and take a look at it, you're more than welcome to do so. It takes a couple days to post, but it will be on our YouTube page. YouTube Live, Detroit Metro, 1 million cups. David, we'll take a photo. Everybody kind of gather in the middle of the room. And thank you so much for coming out today. We'll see you next Wednesday. Okay.